Hi boys and girls, to start off today I have 3 problems that I would like for you to solve in your notebook just to get our minds going and remembering how to do the subtraction, the takeaway method using the number line. So write these problems down, press pause. When you're finished, press play to check the answers. Alright, time to check your answers, see how you did. Alright, boys and girls, so what we're going to look at today is 3-digit minus 3-digit. So 3-digit subtraction. So we are used to being able to do the takeaway number line method with ones. We're used to being able to do it with tens, but now we're going to be making jumps of hundreds, because if you take a look at this problem, we're taking away hundreds, and so we're going to practice making those type of jumps today. So just like we always do, I write down my biggest number, which is 500. I write down now my hundreds, tens and ones, so I have 3 hundreds, as you can see here. I have 4 tens, and I have 6 ones, and so I write those at the top so I don't forget the jumps I need to make. So first we're going to be doing our hundreds. So we're counting back by 100, and we need to make 3 jumps. So 1, 2, 3. And I need to write my number, so I'm counting backwards by 100. So I have 400, 300, and 200. And so that I don't forget, as always, what I'm subtracting by, I'm going to write my 100 up here. 100, 100, 100. Alright, so I'm done with my hundreds, so I cross them off. Now I'm ready for my tens, so I'm going to start counting backwards from 200 by tens, and I'm going to have 4 tens. So let's make our tens first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I need to write 10 above it. Now, I count backwards by tens, because I've already done my hundreds, now I'm working on my tens. So 200, 10 less would be 190, 10 less would be 180. And notice it's really important that I try to keep my numbers underneath those points, because the points are where my numbers need to be so that I can make sure that I count correctly. 170 and 160. Alright, so I've done my tens, but I'm not finished yet because I still have my ones, but I don't have very much room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 160 and I'm going to bring it down here. Okay, I'm bringing it down here because I'm going to start making my number line with the ones, and it's okay to do that. So you just take the last number that you worked with and write it down, and now we have to do 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and now we need to put what we're subtracting by, which is -1, remember. Okay, so I have 159, 158, 157, 156, 155, and finally 154. And 154 is my final answer. I'm going to circle it and then I'm going to write it underneath my problem here. 154. So if you take a look at this problem, you can see that really what you just did with the takeaway method, you just did subtraction with regrouping. You would have had to regroup here, but instead by doing it on the number line, you don't have to do that. Alright, just for a warm-up here, I want us to practice counting back by 100s, and I want to start with 1,000. Oh, that's tricky, isn't it? So what's the 100 right before 1,000? 900. Alright, so here we go. 1,000. Count with me. 900, 800, 700, 600, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100. Let's count one more time. 1,000, 900, 800, 700, 600, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100. Good job. We'll just need to do that when we're counting backwards, so I thought we might as well practice it. Now that we can count by hundreds, let's do this problem. So we have 200 minus 112. So we need to write down first that we have 100, 110, and 2 ones. And we need to write down our biggest number, which is 200. Now we're going to count backwards. We first start with our hundreds. So we go backwards by 100. I'm just going to write that up here. So we know that if we count backwards from 200 by hundreds, we have 100. Okay. Next, so we're done with our hundreds. Next we have our tens. So let's move backwards 110. So remember, now we're not counting by hundreds, we're counting by tens. And 10 less, or counting backwards from 100, we would say 90. 90 is 10 less than 100, or if you're counting backwards, it's 10 back from 100. So we're done with our tens. Now let's do our 2 ones. 1, 2. Put our ones above it. And now we are ready to count backwards by ones. 90, 89, 88. So we have our answer here to 200 minus 112, and we write it where it belongs, 88, and we circle it here. Alright, here are your practice problems for today. So you're going to write these problems on your paper, press pause, go ahead and solve them. When you're finished, press play, and we will see if we were able to get the same answers. Here's the first problem, 400 minus 324. Take a look at your takeaway number line and see, did you do the same steps that I did? Did you include everything that you need to include? And then, most importantly, did you get the right answer? If you didn't get the right answer, then study this line right here. What did you miss? Where did you mess up? Why did you mess up? Ask yourself those questions before going on to the next problem. Here's the second problem. Go ahead and take a moment, look at the answer, see if you were able to get the same answer. Take a look at the number line. Do your number lines match up? If they don't, why or why not? And what do you need to do to fix it? And go ahead and take the time to do that. Here's the answer to the third problem, 600 minus 246. Take a look at your paper. Did you get 354? If you didn't, take a look at your number line here. Look at my number line. What happened? Where did it go wrong? What was the problem? And then take the time to go ahead and fix your number line. All right, well that is it for today. Tomorrow we will continue to work on subtracting 3-digit numbers.